Hi everyone, Kate Alexandra here. I'm a yoga teacher at Waverton Yoga. I'm also the founder of Radical Self-Care Project and the creator of the Radical Self Journal. So you might know me from having purchased the Radical Self Journal, or maybe we've actually met face to face. Maybe you've come to classes in Waverton or some of my women's circles, workshops or retreats. So wherever you are in the world listening to this, welcome. I'm going to introduce to you today my spring dreaming worksheet. So really it's for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, those of you in the North, you might like to save this video and come back in 6 months. Part of why I love celebrating the seasons is it gives me a way to really align myself with the mood of the external world and take some cues from nature to inform my self-care practice as well as my personal reflection practice. And we as human beings are cyclical in the same way that nature is. We have circadian rhythms. If you're a menstruating woman, you have your menstrual cycle rhythms. And we also have life phase cycles that we move through as well. Particularly women who go through menarche, menstruation, perhaps pregnancy, birth, if that's been part of your journey, coming up to menopause and perimenopause when the cycling days come to an end. Anyway, I won't talk about that too much. I want to really focus on the season of spring. The days are getting warmer here in Sydney, thank goodness. It was a pretty cold August. It was pretty windy and chilly. It's apparently one of the coldest winters in a number of years. I was certainly feeling it and starting to feel really ready for spring to come. So it's been a gorgeous week. We're in the mid-20s now, and so hopefully you've been enjoying the sunshine a little bit more and starting to shake off some of that winter heaviness. So what I want to talk through today is my spring dreaming worksheet. Now you can download this for yourself. There should be a link just below my video if you don't already have access. So those of you who are already on my email list, single click and you can download that worksheet. If you're not yet on my email list, you will have an opportunity to subscribe to hear from me roughly fortnightly, and then you'll get a link in your inbox to get the worksheet. So what we're going to do, I had a really great response to the winter dreaming worksheet, which I produced about 3 months ago. So I thought I'd go ahead and move into spring with some reflection points for how you can really align your life with the mood of the season. So first of all, I've broken it down into 4 main themes. They are cleanse, renew and reflect, renew and refocus, I should say, nourish, and then the equinox. I'm going to talk a little bit about spring equinox. So first we'll start with cleansing. Many of you, I'm sure, are familiar with that feeling that you get as spring starts to come, where you want to throw open the windows in your home, you want to let the sunlight in, maybe you have the urge to do a bit of cleaning, get out the dust and just bring some light and warmth into your home. Actually, right now I have a cleaner in my kitchen. It was a little gift to myself. My husband's on a 3-week trip and I've had the cleaner come a couple of times just to give me that support. And it's amazing actually the benefit that I feel, not just having someone help me clean my home, but I feel emotionally supported as well by having that help. So maybe you've got a cleaner, maybe you don't, maybe you feel like cleaning out your closets, doing a wardrobe switch up. Maybe it's time to clean up if you've got children, kids' toys, off to the charity store. There are many, many different ways that you might like to bring the theme of cleansing into your life. So the home came up first because that's something that we often feel the mood for, a bit of a spring clean. But we can also start to think about doing an internal cleanse. So from the perspective of Ayurveda, which is the science of life and the sister science to yoga, Ayurveda recommends that spring and autumn are 2 really great times to do a cleanse of your digestive system. So it might be a time to start looking at your diet, the foods that you've been eating. And if you got into some kind of funky habits over winter, which I know I definitely did, kind of eating some heavier foods, which are perfect for winter time to keep your body warm. You might have noticed you've gained a little bit of extra weight in winter. That's totally normal. It's part of your body's way of staying warm, is to put on a bit of extra padding. And so as springtime comes, maybe you want to move more, you're eating more cool foods instead of the hot foods. You get outside a little bit more, drinking more water. So a lot of this will start to happen unconsciously anyway, but you may also want to contemplate doing a little bit of a cleanse or a detox. And now I will say I'm not an expert in that area, so I'm not about to start prescribing any particular kind of detox, and I actually have certain concerns around how detox can be linked to kind of fad dieting, and I'm really not a fan of that, and this is not about the body beautiful or achieving any kind of weight loss result. It's actually just about restoring your prana, your life force energy, and resetting your digestive fire. So that's kind of from the perspective of Ayurveda. Why we would cleanse is to restore your ojas and your agni, your digestive fire, your juice of life. So I'm personally embarking on a little cleanse. I'm not going to talk too much about it because that's not really the focus here, but if you feel inspired, there's cleanses maybe that you've done before. Maybe it's just, starting with a kind of smoothie or a juice in the morning that has some good whole foods, and maybe just eating a little cleaner, drinking more water to kind of flush your system out. So there's a few little notes here about how you might like to move into some cleansing, maybe a Marie Kondo style declutter in your home, maybe an internal cleanse, maybe a mental and emotional cleanse too, kind of doing like a digital kind of cleanse, having some time off social media, or maybe just kind of cleansing your operating system. I don't know, organizing your files, whatever you feel moved to embark on. All right, so that's number one, cleansing. It's part of the mood of spring. The second suggestion here is to come into the space of mind of renewal and refocusing. So as we come out of the hibernation of winter, we can start to see more shoots popping up, more flowers opening. So it's really a time of renewal. And so it could be a really good time to reconnect with your sankalpa. So we talk about that a lot in yoga. Sankalpa is your intention. It's your heart's desire. So what is it that your soul deeply longs for and craves? And maybe you want to spend a little bit of time journaling around what it is that your heart desires, where you feel a sense of purpose. What sort of future are you creating? Thinking about your contribution to the world, and coming into that mindset of being of service, and reconnecting to your purpose and why you do what you do. What is it that drives you? It can be really good to just periodically check in with what it is that drives us, so we can plug back into that, and it can give us a sense of more motivation, because sometimes we just go through the motions of daily life and it can feel like a bit of a drag, and we might get depressed or get off tasks, but coming back to what it is that your soul really longs for and craves. What is your purpose? What drives you? So I popped a few little questions here in this section. So again, you can just download this worksheet from the link below and work through it. Renewal and refocus was that one. And then we're going to move into nourish. So I love this one. I'm a huge fan of self-nourishment. It's, it's a radical self-care practice to nourish yourself in all the ways that feel good to you, without guilt, without excuses, without needing to justify. Just go, what would I really like? It might be getting out some beautiful body oils and nourishing your skin. Doing some dry brushing on your skin to get rid of the wintry dead skin cells, and rub some beautiful oils into your body. It might be getting massage. It might be going hiking and seeing the gorgeous spring flowers if you go to Karingai National Park, or any national park that you're close to. That's just one that's top of mind for me. But all the spring flowers are starting to come out. Maybe that's what really nourishes your soul. So having really feeling into what nourishes your body, mind, and spirit, and giving yourself full permission to dive into that nourishment. All right, the fourth prompt I've got here on the Spring Dreaming worksheet is it's about spring equinox. So the equinox is coming up on Sunday, the 23rd of September. The equinox is that point of balance of equal daylight and equal nighttime. It's halfway exactly between the winter solstice and the summer solstice. So at the point at which we pass the equinox, we know that the days are now getting longer and we're actually more on the summer side of the cycle than the winter side. So at that fulcrum, that moment of balance, having a moment to reflect, just checking in with yourself. What am I leaving behind with the winter that's passed? What is falling away? What is descending into the shadows? That might be friendships, that might be certain patterns of work, of behavior. It might be limiting beliefs that you just want to let go and leave behind with the winter's darkness so that you can move forward into the spring and feeling into what is it that's awakening? What are the little green shoots and little flowers, metaphorically, that are coming to light in your life? What's awakening? Maybe there are new relationships. Maybe there's new work opportunities. Maybe you're updating your belief systems. Maybe you're realigning yourself with some old activities that you used to love that had fallen by the wayside, and you want to reconnect with those and bring them into the spring with you. So it's a chance to really check in and go, okay, so in order to find myself in a moment of equilibrium and equanimity, what needs to fall away and what is awakening? What am I bringing with me? I will let you know as well that I've got a beautiful opportunity to join me for the spring equinox. If you're a woman, someone who identifies as a woman, regardless of your age, your ability, you're welcome to join myself and Sarah Friedman, who's a girlfriend of mine. She's a shamanic woman crafter. She's a pelvic holistic therapist, and she's spent her life working with women. We are putting on a spring equinox play shop. It's at the Leela Centre in Surrey Hills if you'd like to come and play and celebrate with us. There'll be ritual, there'll be some craft activities, some creative activities, all designed to awaken joy. So that's our theme. It's something I've been thinking a lot about, and if you've been reading my emails, you'll know, or if you follow me on social media, I've been thinking a lot about joy and how to cultivate the conditions in which to wake up that spontaneous sense of happiness and pleasure and delight. And for me, it comes through play, it comes through moving my body, through singing, through connecting with nature and spirit, and celebrating with other women, with celebrating life. So if you've been feeling like it's time to kind of shake off a bit of dead energy and you want to come and just have a beautiful day filled with fun and gonna have some delicious food, you're welcome to join us. Another opportunity coming up this spring is the Beltane Women's Circle, which is on the 9th of November. It's on a full moon. It's here in Waverton, and that will be my regular women's circle. It's a 2-hour practice. We'll do some movement, kind of yoga, feminine yoga style movement, a little bit more free form than what we usually do. We practice in a circle. There'll be ritual. There'll be connecting with some small group activities and exercises to connect with your intentions, and some fun stuff thrown in there as well. So that's the next women's circle here in Waverton, 9th of November. And one more thing to tell you is that my Awakening Feminine Power retreat with Carly Leinbach is coming up again. That's the weekend of actually the 2nd, 3rd and 4th of November, and we'll be back in Blackheath. Now, we ran this retreat in the middle of winter on the winter solstice. It was extraordinary. 14 women came. It's really a deep dive into connecting in with your feminine power, which is a system for manifesting what it is you want to create in your life from the inside out. So in terms of a masculine paradigm of success, we often see what we want externally and we go, okay, there's that thing, I'm going to go step by step to get that thing. Whereas with feminine power, it's not necessarily a thing that we're looking to conquer or attain, but it's about connecting in with, essentially it's like sankalpa, connecting in with what the heart desires, how you want to feel, and creating a life that you're going to in which you can thrive and share your gifts and have whole, loving, connected relationships from the inside out. And there's a process that we move through that's been created by Dr. Claire Zammit. My co-facilitator Carly has been working with Claire for nearly 3.5 years now. And it's a process through which we go step by step through exploring the relationship to yourself, to others, and to what Claire calls the field, which is, you might see that as source or spirit, all that is nature, the universe, and connecting with your feminine power. It's been an extraordinary journey for the women who have come on that feminine power retreat with us back in winter solstice. People are still having things awaken as a result of the work we did together. So we're looking for really high vibe women who are awakening, who are feeling you want that sense to reconnect with yourself and your power. It's pretty deep work. We will have some space to kind of shake things off and to move and go for bushwalks and enjoy nice food with one another. So there will be aspects of it that will be kind of rejuvenating and relaxing. But it's an immersion, and we're calling it an immersion quite intentionally because it's rich, deep work that we're going to do together. So if that tickles your fancy, let me know. I'm actually still creating the website at the moment. It's not quite finished. So I wasn't going to mention it, but here we have it. If you are keen, send me a message because it's a highly limited number. We're only taking 12. And so, yeah, let me know. There's a special early bird price for the first 4 women who want to join. So if you're keen, let me know. We also have payment plans available if you want to pay it off over a period of time. Okay, beautiful people, that's the Spring Dreaming worksheet. I hope you're feeling inspired, ready to shake off the winter and move into spring and bloom and flourish in whatever ways feel good to you. And I hope to see you soon. Namaste.